Okay, so you should be able to see this screen right now.
Yes.
Great. So I'll introduce first I myself. I am Praveen. I have over 12 years of experience in terms of IT industry, where I've worked for um, work in the IT sector for test automation for over 12 years now. And if I talk about in terms of the tutor, I have over 5 years of experience in teaching different kinds of tools and technologies, starting with Selenium, Cypress, Playwright. The current one is the Playwright that we are going through with. I've delivered more than 20 corporate training, including like a bigger organization like Cognizant, HCL, Capgemini, and few other bigger brand in terms of the market. Along with that, I've till now like covered more than 60 sessions, 60 batches, including like Selenium, Cypress, and Playwright. Now, we'll go through with the course agenda today for our session, which will be the first demo session where the course that you have or that we have joined is for the Playwright using TypeScript. Playwright using TypeScript, right? So before I start the session, just wanted to know how many of you people have worked on any tools and technology in the past. You can raise your hand so that I can see like how many numbers, how many people have already worked on any tools. That can be any tools or technology. Okay, so close to around 40% of you, whoever have joined today, or close to 50% of you have worked on some or other tools and technology in the past. Right. You can now lower your hands. How many of you are freshers over here? Anyone who is completely freshers? Okay, right. So we also have a freshers over here, right? So why I wanted to understand is because the course that we have designed for this particular sessions or for any of the batches that we design the course, that depends on how many number of the people are basically have worked on any tools and technology, how many of them are like completely freshers or who someone like most of the people whenever I taught used to be from some other streams that may not have worked on any tools and technology, may not have learned any tools and technology in the past. And so just wanted to understand those kind of things over here before we go for our demo session. Okay. Also, now you can lower your hand, whoever have raised your hand. Also, whenever you feel that you have any kind of questions, please stop in between. I'll answer at that point of time itself. Okay, so now let's move to our course agenda, the demo agenda that we have for our session today, and what all the things we'll be going for. So first day, we'll basically be talking about what is our course content, what will be the benefit, what kind of things will be there in terms of the Playwright and TypeScript. From second session onwards, we'll also see like how does it important for us in terms of the implementation. While people and organization are moving towards Playwright, either using JavaScript and TypeScript nowadays, why Playwright is more famous in the market right now than other tools and technology that are available in the market. Okay, so the agenda that we have for our first demo session is these are the things that I thought of covering in our session today, which is what is the benefit of joining this course? What you will basically learn out of this course that you are trying to enroll for. Second, the complete course content that we'll be going through, which will be again Playwright using TypeScript over here. Third, I'll go through in detail. I just want to mention like what all the things we'll be covering up over here in terms of our session, and we'll also go through in detail of each and every points that we have mentioned over here. Third will be like again, as I said, how many of you are have already worked on any tools and technology? How many of you are freshers and so on? So who can enroll? And is there any prerequisite to join the course? Now, the fourth and most important things that we have over here is why should you learn it now rather than waiting for a few months or few years? So when we talk about, there are a lot of things that are coming in the market, right? In terms of the test automation, uh, there are Selenium, which is existing in the market from the last 20 years. There's Cypress, which is again uh, one of um, one of a tool which have been used by few of the organizations. And then why Playwright becoming more popular? Why should we learn right now than waiting for a few months or few years to start learning it out? What will you learn after the course completion? So first thing, we'll talk about the benefit of the course, and fifth one that you see over here, what you will learn after the course completion. So what all the things you will gain after the completion of course when we complete the complete Playwright and TypeScript course. Course duration we'll talk about, what will be the course highlight, what all the things in terms of a highlight I'll also try to show you. And if time permits, we'll also go for basically why Playwright. Anyways, we'll be talking about. We'll be going for Playwright versus Cypress and Playwright versus Selenium to see what are the benefits that we have in terms of Playwright. And then at the end, we'll also be going for question answer session if you have any kind of things. But as I said, if you have any doubt or if you have any type of queries that you would like to ask in between as well, you can stop me or you can interrupt me in between. Okay. So you can raise your hand. You can basically lower your hand if you are unable to. I'm just trying to do it over here for instead of you over here. Okay, great. So let's first understand that what will be the benefit. What are the things that we are like everyone like whoever spends some kind of time spends their precious time, what they'll be learning, what all the things will be covered up over here, what kind of things we'll be learning, and what will be the job market in terms of whatever the tools and technology that we are trying to learn, right? So all those things you should have to understand in our demo session before we move to the next session, which will be again tomorrow. So first is like, what is the benefit of joining the course? First question. Everyone will have this kind of questions. What is the benefit of joining the course? First thing, so I'll talk about one thing, that Playwright is existing in the market from the last 4 years. Playwright is existing in the market from the last 4 years, and I am working on Playwright from last three years and around close to 4 months now. Okay, so one thing that I have gone through with the different organization, I've understood what people are looking for, what organization are looking for in terms of the test automation from the Playwright and from the non-Playwright things as well in last 12 years. So this course will basically give you an edge, which will be completely a practical hands-on. I'm not only talking over here, everything, whatever I am talking, anyways, it will be recorded. Whatever I'm talking will be covered in our course as well. So practical hands-on. When I say like practical hands-on, each and every topic that we'll be covering up, you will be given an assignment to complete it. You'll be given like not a day or two, you'll be given like ample amount of time so that you can cover up. Why we'll be giving you the assignment or practical hands-on kind of things? So that if you will have any kind of doubt or you're stuck at any point of time, you will be able to, ask as much as question in terms of sessions. Probably your question might be others doubt as well. Okay, so when you interact in the session, when you do hands-on practice, you will learn together. You like we all will learn together in terms of whenever we do some kind of practical hands-on in terms of the learning. That doesn't mean like whatever I'll explain you have to also write it inside your system, but whenever you get time after the session, you can start practicing those things. So practical hands-on will be there, real-time practice and framework development. So when we talk about real-time practice, whatever we do in terms of the test automation, see, we'll be learning. some of the courses that I have seen in the market, they'll teach some kind of things, and when you go inside the organization, you'll see some other magic over there, some other complexity over there. So everything I have compiled in our course content, all the things that will be teaching over there will have the examples as well, where you can get these kind of, let's say, any topic where you can get these kind of values inside your test automation in real time, which application that you can use for so and so kind of concept and so on. That will be taught in a real time practice, whatever you will be working inside the organization. I see like most of you have already worked on, so you might be knowing what kind of complexity that used to be, what kind of things that used to be in terms of the test automation. So you'll anyways understand those kind of things whenever we start our courses. Framework development. When I talk about a framework development, it will be completely from scratch, from a basic point of view. You'll first understand the detailed structure of the framework. As soon as you understand the detailed structure of framework, implementation will become very easy. That means when you have a visual structure inside your mind for a framework, you can easily implement those kind of things. So everything in terms of theoretical, diagrammatical, as well as the implementation in a practical way will be given for the framework development. The framework that will be developing over here, you can directly implement, directly copy paste inside your organization as well to start development of the framework from completely scratch. Third benefit is one-to-one mentorship. It is not something that if you have any kind of questions, you have to ask in the session itself. Anytime you will also be given my number, my contact number. You can ask any of the doubt or any of the questions whenever you have. Let's say you are practicing in your daytime or some other time, which you feel that you get stuck at any point of time. You can immediately ping for the help. Okay. And you'll definitely get the reply for that as well. If you have any kind of doubt or anything you need in terms of mentorship part for your career, for your test automation that you are currently working on, and on your Playwright, will be given completely support, one-to-one mentorship in a way where you can feel like whatever you're learning is or whatever you are investing over here, the time is worth investing. There are a couple of things which is again generic with which comes like resume preparation, interview preparation. So resume preparation, sample resume will also be provided to each and every one of you. For interview preparation, the sample questions, I have taken like, more than 100 interviews till date on Playwright. On Playwright, I'm talking about. So I know what kind of questions that the industry asks, what kind of questions that the organization are interested in, and what generally I used to ask and some other interviewer used to ask in the interviews. I have compiled all those questions. If you see over here, I've compiled all those questions over here for Playwright interviews. You will see like there are total 55 odd number of questions that I have prepared for only for the Playwright. Along with that, we also have for TypeScript and JavaScript as well, along with the programmatical question as well. Okay, so the complete interview preparation will be taken. That means the complete placement kind of things will be taken over here. The placement means not something that I guarantee you that I'll give you the job, but I'll guarantee you that I'll make you in such a way that in your first interview itself, you should be able to crack the interview. Okay, that means you should be prepared, and be confident enough to crack any kind of interview, to attend any kind of interview fearlessly. Okay. Any help during or after the course completion. So even after the course completion, if you get stuck at any point of time, I'll be there to help you out. Not for writing your code, but just to help you if you get stuck at any point of time. Let's say you have joined in an organization and some or other scenarios are there which you are unable to handle. You can immediately ping me for the help. I can provide you the logic, provide you the suggestion that what can you write for so and so things. Okay, mandatory things again, which is course completion certificate you will get, and then as I said, making you ready for the interview and mock interview. So when I say like making you ready for the interview, that means I'll also be conducting mock interview if you people are interested to check where can you improve, what can you improve, and what can you give the answer for any kind of query that the interviewer will ask you. Okay, you will be provided with interview question, you will be provided with a sample resume, you will also be provided with the job openings that are there in the market, what you have to prepare for, what kind of job description, and what not you have prepared for. See, there are 55 questions. Out of those 55, there is not needed everything. Depending on the organization, also you have to select few of the questions, right? So if you are going for a high-level companies like MNCs, they'll ask you some other questions. If you're going for a startup organization, they'll ask you few other questions or few different questions, right? Those kind of things we have to understand depending on the job description that they are providing in the market, right? So those things you will be prepared over here in terms of our course content itself. And that is the benefit that you will be having joining this course. I'm pretty sure if you can inquire in the market, none of the people will be able to give you these kind of values for just for the Playwright and TypeScript course. The second Playwright course content that we have, I have this I'll try to show you after around 10 to 15 minutes of time, the complete course content that we have again prepared over here, and you can see the schedule wise course content as well that we'll be going through over here. Again, as I said, if you have any kind of questions, feel free to stop me in between. Also, I would request you people over here, whoever have joined over here, I'd request you people to share your contact number and name so that few of the documents I can share it with you people on your contact number, which can be either a WhatsApp or however the mode of communication that you use. So please share your name and contact number. If it is WhatsApp number, that would be really helpful so that we can share you some kind of documents that we are going through with, some kind of materials that you can be prepared before we start our session. Now jump over here to the third one. Who can enroll and what is the prerequisite to join the session, right? Join the course. So this course basically is designed for Playwright and TypeScript. Who can join the course? So this course have been developed for a development team, Development team means nowadays people have started writing unit test case using the Playwright as well. So nowadays, I have seen like more than 100 of the organization where my students are spread across, my friends are spread across in the different organizations. I've seen most of the organization are moving towards Playwright because there is one advantage over here. One advantage and the major advantage is that basically fills the gap between the development team and testing team. Why? Because developer started writing the unit test case by using Playwright, and tester starts writing the integration and end-to-end test case using Playwright. Now what happened over here is event development team knows how do we write the test case using Playwright. Testing team also knows that how do we write the test case using Playwright and TypeScript or JavaScript, whatever the language that they have. In this way, even when once you go for evaluation of test automation coverage means whether you have completely covered the test cases or not for your application, right? So at that point of time, you also have to take care of the unit test case that have been written by development team, right? So as it have been written using the Playwright, you are fully aware of the Playwright. You can easily check what kind of test case that the development team have written, and that will give you an edge over making the judgment like what is the percentage of the test case that you have completed in terms of your test automation, right? So who can enroll? The development team who is willing to work on the Playwright for unit test cases. QAs, all level of QAs, freshers, a QA who is working on the manual testing, a mid-level automation tester, QA manager, and so on. A person who have already worked on any other tools and technology in the past, they will also be able to enroll for the course. There will be again many advantages for them as well. Though they know few of the things, but there will be many advantages because this will be entirely a different tools for them to learn out. Now, what is the prerequisite? There is no prerequisite as such for this particular course. If you just know the concept of testing, that is much more enough to join the session, join the course. If you just know the basic concept of testing, that means what is testing, how do we do the testing, how do we write the test case, that is enough to join the course. Okay. Now, the next one, that question that we have is, why should you learn it now rather than waiting for some months or years? Is again one of the important things in terms of the interview purpose. So see, as I said earlier, Playwright is in the market from the last 4 years. Playwright came into market in December 2020. We are currently in month of March, which is March 2025. So 4 years and 3 months in the market, which is currently Playwright is in the market from the last 4 years and 3 months. Now, why should you learn? Why should you learn it now? Because one, Playwright is currently growing, so there are not much skilled person are there in the market. Second, if there are not much skilled person, the competition are very less for the interviews. There are more number of jobs and less number of skilled person. Demand are more, supply are less. When we say like supply, that means skilled person are less. So there will be a high chance to get the job easily. Third, as it is there in the market from the last 4 years itself, so there will be not much complex in terms of the interview purpose. They'll be asking you the basic questions related to Playwright, and they'll be asking you some hands-on things to write a few of the concept in terms of the test automation for implementation purpose. Okay. Now, if you wait for a few months or few years, probably like people are moving towards, organization are moving towards the Playwright. So like, in few months or few years, definitely there will be a lot of growing skills in terms of the Playwright. Competition will grow, skill will grow, and then again there will be a complexity comes into picture for the interviews as well. So there will be a less chances going forward in terms of getting for the interviews call or preparations, or for complexity in terms of the interviews. That is why the main important things, why should you learn it now rather than waiting for some months or year. Now, what will you learn after the course completion? Now, again, I would like to be, I would like to be these things to become an interactive. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Anyways, I'll be giving you like 10-15 minutes of time at the end, but ask me if you have any kind of questions in between as well. Now, what will you learn after the course completion? So one thing is, I can guarantee, provided you have to practice as well, I can guarantee you that you will become an advanced level of Playwright test automation in the market. Advanced level of, I cannot say like master level, but advanced level, definitely you'll become, who can write the script, who can develop the framework completely from scratch using Playwright, who can also mentor their juniors by just learning the course, along with practicing it, whatever we go through with in the course for the next, whatever the duration that we have. Okay, so that I can guarantee you, if you practice, provided you also have to practice it out, I can guarantee you that you'll become an advanced level of tester for Playwright in the market. Now, most of you will have this kind of questions like, what is the course duration? So course duration is total course consists of 35 to 37 hours of sessions. Daily will be 1 hour from Monday to Friday, and that will be 8 p.m. IST time. Monday to Friday, daily 1 hour of session. Now, the course highlight that we are currently going through with the TypeScript over here. So what will be the course highlight? That means what all the things will be covering up in terms of the courses over here. After this, I'll go through with the course content as well after this questions. But what is the course highlight that we have over here? What all the things that will be covering up in terms of our course content? So first thing, as usual, the programming we have to learn. That means the TypeScript will be going completely from scratch, and we'll be covering all the advanced level of TypeScript as well, which will be helpful for us in terms of test automation. Playwright completely from scratch, basic and advanced level of the things as well. I would again request you people to share your name and contact number. You can also, if you are not thinking to provide for a larger group, you can also provide in the private chat as well. So do we have any other session for this course during weekend? Dev, I'll come back to you for this. Probably Kumar will be better person for this question, but I'll come back to you for this questions. Okay, please share your contact number and name so that we can reach back with some of the documents. Now we'll also be covering over here page object model framework completely from scratch, from the basic understanding of the page object model framework to the implementation of complete hands-on, which can be directly utilized inside your organization as well. Locators in deep understanding. When we talk about the locators in deep understanding, that means what kind of locators that Playwright supports different types of locators, including CSS selectors, XPath, and Playwright specific locator that it has given. Document object model. That means how the application have been developed. What is DOM, which is also known as document object model. How do we identify an element? What is different types of tags, properties, and so on. Basic API testing using Postman for the Playwright course itself. So first, few of the API testing will also be covering up as a part of our course content. So first, we'll be covering those part of the things like get, put, post, and delete method of the API using Postman as a manual testing, and then using Playwright for the similar test case for get, post, put, and delete method. We'll see like whatever the things that we do in terms of the manual testing, how do we convert those by using Playwright in terms of the test automation for API testing. We'll be covering CI/CD using Jenkins. GitHub will be covered up completely from scratch for all the levels. If you have already worked on, still you'll understand few of the concept in terms of GitHub. CI/CD, that means how do we create a pipeline, Jenkins pipeline, so that it can run automatically, or you can also run by manually, or you can also create some kind of jobs which will automatically pick your test automation. Complete documentation for Playwright. So you will also get the complete document for Playwright course. If you see this document consists of the complete documents for Playwright. If you just refer this document, will be enough for Playwright course content. So I have given in detail along with the complete explanation for the Playwright, all the methods that we have in terms of Playwright, along with setting up like generation of the report and setting up the CI/CD pipeline as well. I've given over here the complete documentation. So all those things you will get as a part of the course content again, as a part of the course highlight. Interview preparation, resume assistance, and many more things you will be getting as a course highlight. Now let's move back to the course content that we have over here that we have prepared in terms of whatever we are going through with the test automation over here. So I have prepared it along with the schedules that we'll be going through. However, the schedules have been designed for us. I've also designed the course content over here. So if you see in the initial stage, we'll be going through with the so sorry. In the initial stage, we'll be going through with the technologies, whatever we have enrolled for, either JavaScript or TypeScript. this course is designed for the TypeScript. So we'll be going for the TypeScript, completely TypeScript from the scratch which will be from installation of the TypeScript, basic things of the TypeScript like variables, understanding variables, how to declare variables, data types, different types of data types that are available in TypeScript. Operators, again, this is like very minor things you might be aware of already if you have already worked on other tools and technology. But again, these are the uh, uh, basic things that we have to understand in terms of the technology that we are going through with. Statements, that means conditions, looping concept, functions, how do we define a functions. Again, when you learn a JavaScript or TypeScript, the functions will be entirely different. You might, if you have worked with Java earlier, you might be knowing like what is functions, how do you declare the functions, but in terms of JavaScript and TypeScript, it used to be entirely different. Then we'll go for arrays, string, what is different types of string that we have, what are different methods that we have in terms of strings. We'll be going for objects and we'll be going for classes over here, which will again consist of the oops concept inside the class itself. Okay, so these will be the basic things for the TypeScript that we'll be going through in the initial stage of our courses. After completion of the technology that we have opted for, we'll go for a basic and advanced level of Playwright. So we'll be starting with introduction of Playwright and its feature, like why Playwright, why it is so important. That we'll again see in our next session, which will be tomorrow. We'll see like why people are going towards Playwright. What are the different advantages that we have? Installation of Playwright, completely setting up of Playwright. We'll be going through to check like how do we set up the Playwright framework. Okay, so generally, if I talk about like Playwright, everyone sees that Playwright is a tool which help us in terms of the test automation. Playwright is also a framework itself. Playwright is also a framework as well. Okay, so that means we do not have to take any third-party tool, any help of third-party tool to write the test case. If you have worked with Selenium, you might be knowing that you should have taken the help of either TestNG, JUnit, or BTD Cucumber framework, right? In terms of working with Playwright, we do not require any help from any third-party tool to write the test cases. Also, setting up the environment of Playwright is just a 2 minutes of work. Setting up the environment of Playwright is just a 2 minutes of work. That means setting up Playwright framework inside your local system is only 2 minutes of work. But if you have worked with Java earlier and Selenium, you might be knowing how hard it used to be. You have to create pom.xml file where you have to define all the dependencies, whatever the libraries that you have to install and so on. Here, we do not have to do any such things. Just a command. If you see this particular document over here, just a command will work to create the complete setup of the framework. So if you see this command, which is npm init playwright, will set up the complete framework for us. Okay. After that, we'll understand the Playwright architecture. What is the architecture of the Playwright? For that also, we have the complete document over here. You can see like architecture of Playwright. I have prepared point-wise as well as diagrammatical way as well. So we'll understand the Playwright architecture so that it will be clear for us in terms of how Playwright is working. And then we'll go for creation of a project for Playwright framework. We'll see like importance of few of the basic concept that we have in terms of the test automation is test annotation that Playwright has given, async and await concept in terms of again TypeScript when we work with Playwright and so on. After that, we'll be covering up the key concept. How do we launch the browser? How do we launch different types of browser? What are the different things that Playwright support? Playwright also supports browser emulation for the mobile version as well. For the mobile as well, that means for Android and iOS. The same code will, whatever you have designed for the web automation testing, will work on the mobile browser as well without changing any kind of configuration. Advantage we'll see in our next session, so that you'll understand what is the different advantage that we have. That I have also, which I'll share it with you people again, that I've also given inside this particular document that we have prepared for. See, these are the advantages that we have, which we'll discuss in our next session. Then we'll go for understanding the complete configuration file that Playwright will generate at the time of installation of the Playwright framework. We'll understand completely from scratch for the configuration file, what are the things that we have to change inside the configuration file, and so on. And then we'll start building our test automation from scratch, and we'll try to run on the multiple different browsers: Chrome, Firefox, Safari, and so on. Okay, we'll understand the locators completely from scratch. We'll also understand locators that have been given by the Playwright. So Playwright get by specific locator, we'll try to understand. And after that, after understanding of the locators, we'll start writing our basic test case, which will cover up like um, how do we type, how do we fill or type some kind of text inside an input field? How do we work with checkbox, radio button? How do we get the text value from a single element, from a multiple elements? What is synchronization concept? What is auto weighting concept that Playwright has given? Getting text from single element, multiple elements. How do we run the test case in a headless and headed mode? How do we run the test case in a parallel mode? How do we run the test case in a sequential mode? um, how do we run a single test case out of, let's say, 100 test case or 1,000 test case that you have? How do we skip the test case, and so on? And then we'll move towards a few of the mouse operations, which is like click, double click, right click, mouse over, drag and drop. How do we perform those kind of operations? Handling alerts and pop-up. We'll see like Playwright basically able to handle alerts and pop-up automatically, but if there are any chances of handling it by self, how do we handle those kind of things? We'll also see in our course content. After that, we'll go for a drop down. Different types of drop down we used to have, like static, dynamic drop down. We'll try to see what is the help of those things. And then Playwright have given few of the tools, which again we'll see in our next session, which is known as inspector, trace view, and code gen. Code gen is a tool that Playwright has given to generate the script from scratch. Okay, I'll pause here for a couple of seconds to see if you have any questions, and then again I'll move from here.
Hi, may I know your good name?
I'm Praveen.
Hi, Praveen. Yeah, this is Vidyadhar. So I just want to know, like, you have explained all these things in detail. So will it possible to like, is it possible to complete all these things in just a 35 hours? Because there are a lot of
Yes,
content, and how can we
right.
approach, like, if
There are
we
a
have
lot.
many questions in a class and all?
That's fine. That's fine. See, if you have many questions in the sessions,
Mm,
we
mm,
will conduct like few extra sessions for only the question and answer. That
okay.
means if you have
Mm,
lot many questions, we'll dedicate one particular sessions only for the doubt clearation. Okay,
okay.
and that is where I'll mention 35 to 37 hours of course content will be there, because I used to keep like 2 to 3 hours for the question and answer session.
Okay.
Second thing, as I said,
Mm,
you will also be getting the support even after the course completion, and one-to-one mentorship as well. So there you will get a lot of doubt clearation as well. So one-to-one mentorship will not be a part of the course content, will
okay.
not be a part of the 35 hours of session.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one more quick question, like, will we do any project in this course, like particular
Yes,
project from the scratch?
yes, yes. You will also be doing a project completely from scratch, and that you
Okay.
can see as a capstone project over here at the. Okay, so that I've mentioned in the course content where I've designed. That will be a capstone project, which you will be doing at the end of our session after the completion of page object model framework.
Okay. And all the recordings are also provided. Like if suppose like
All the
suppose I miss any session, so that those recordings also will get to access, right?
all the recordings will be provided and will have a lifetime access.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah.
Okay. I see one of a question that uh, Rajiv is asking, I believe, is BDD a part of this course, right? So yes, Rajiv. So we'll be providing you the support for the BDD as well. But if you are going to work with BDD along with Playwright, then there is no need of learning Playwright at all. Because when you work with BDD, Playwright specific things will not come into picture. Playwright specific things will not be supported over there. That means what is meant by that is that means auto waiting concept that Playwright has given, automatically taking the screenshot, automatically recording the test execution steps that Playwright does, automating waiting for assertions, also few of the like more and more things that are there in terms of the Playwright will not be applicable for BDD. Now why it is not applicable for BDD is BDD is a framework and Playwright is also one of a framework. So when you combine these two things, BDD and Playwright, both of them will complain you, why should I give you the access to whatever I have inside my properties? That means Playwright will complain saying that if I have the complete support, why are you going for BDD Cucumber framework? In terms of a BDD, BDD is completely again a framework where you'll write in a plain English language, like writing the test cases and so on. That generally Playwright does not support.
Okay, thanks.
Playwright
Thanks, Praveen.
supports.
Just one thing here I wanted to understand here. BDD means what I mean to ask is here. Like Cucumber as a supports BDD language. I mean plain English language. So here Java, TypeScript with Playwright also having similar kind of means the will that support TypeScript with
No,
Playwright? BDD means plain
no.
English
So
language. Will that support here?
understood.
That yeah, that is my question. Yeah.
Understood. So in terms of Playwright, we'll not be writing the test case in that way. However, we write in terms of BDD Cucumber framework.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Second, your question was API testing framework.
API testing.
So API will be covering up as a basic part of the things, not in
Oh,
the complete. See, if you go for a complete API test automation framework, that will again be a 35 or 40 hours of session for Playwright. Playwright also does support the API testing completely, but this course has been designed for the web automation. Few of the basic things will be covered as a part of API testing over here.
yeah. Thanks, Praveen. So just last
Great.
question, like in case course after completion of the course, if I'm working on API side using Playwright. So if any doubts, any question that can be helped by you and
You
you
should get
can
that.
provide.
You should get that.
Yeah. 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 Thanks a lot, Praveen. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Hi, Praveen.
So now
This
let's
is
again.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I have a
So
one question.
yes, please.
Yeah, so can we cover anything related to mobile testing in Playwright?
Okay, mobile specific. If you are talking about mobile application, Playwright does not support that. Currently, that is in the development phase itself.
Okay,
Which, as per the Playwright team, they will be supporting the mobile application testing as well, probably in the next 1 year time.
okay,
Okay, but if your question is related to mobile browser specific, then the same code will work on the mobile browser as well.
okay. Thank you.
Great.
Hi, Praveen. This is
Yes.
Hi, Praveen.
so currently our organization follows BDD framework. So would that be beneficial for us to learn BDD with Playwright here? I mean, obviously we can take like similar like banking application. We just create feature file and then spec and then
Right.
page object for that specific one. So would that be
Right. So there is not a disadvantage if anyone is working with BDD Cucumber. Playwright will also support that, but few of the flavor of the Playwright you will miss if you work with BDD Cucumber. That doesn't mean Playwright will not support or Playwright will not suggest to go for a BDD Cucumber framework. Generally speaking, even nowadays the organization are not moving towards BDD Cucumber. Why? Because there used to be a lot of complexity. So when you go for a page object model design, you will be creating a page layer, you will be creating a test layer. Probably you might not understand right now, but let's try to visualize this thing. So page layer, and you'll be creating a test layer. When you
In this
work
course,
with,
would there be a flavor of one session on BDD touch base on how it works?
yes, yes.
Oh,
So I'll show you that as well. Along with that, you will be also getting the complete recorded session of the BDD Cucumber framework. Complete recorded session also you will be getting for BDD Cucumber framework as well.
oh,
Okay,
is that the separate, or this is part of this course, or is a separate?
part of course itself.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so I'll just quickly move to check this course content, and then I'll again come back to you. So sorry, please wait for 5 minutes. We'll complete the course content, and I'll come back to you people. Please raise your hand so that I can take your name. Also, just a request that if you have not shared your contact number and name, please do share so that it will be helpful for us to share you the documents. Now, after understanding the few basic tools and techniques that Playwright has given, we'll move towards advanced level where we'll check like how do we handle different windows, how do we write assertions, and we'll also write one end-to-end test automation scenario. When I say like one end-to-end, that doesn't mean like we'll be writing only one test case. We'll be writing at least 40 to 50 test case in our complete course content. One will be the complete end-to-end where we'll try to see like how do we order a product completely from the login to order the product and validate whether you have successfully ordered or not inside your order history page. Okay. After that, we'll understand one record and playback tool as well the Playwright has given, which will generate automatically script, which is known as CodeGen. We'll see the demo of that after the complete web automation course completion. And then we'll move towards again few of the basic and advanced level, which is like how do we handle frames, how do we upload single and multiple files, how do we download files from using Playwright, how do we handle shadow DOM elements. If any one of you have already worked on shadow DOM elements earlier, you might be knowing how hard it used to be in terms of working with Selenium. I'll show you the code as well for this shadow DOM, but Playwright have again an advantage over here where it automatically supports the shadow DOM elements as well. You might not be understanding what is shadow DOM elements. We'll go in complete details when we go for the courses over here. We'll cover up like how do we get the data from JSON file, and then we'll move towards a basic API testing where we'll see like all the get, post, put, delete part of the things. We'll also write one test case for mix of web and API automation, where we'll try to generate a login token so that we can skip the login page every time whenever we have to validate some kind of things on the dashboard page or any other page. Okay, so that also will be covering up as a part of our course content. And then basic things like how do we take the screenshot, though Playwright will automatically take the screenshot. We'll see like how can we write the code for taking the screenshot. Visual testing also will be checking like Playwright also supports visual testing. Visual testing means you can compare your screenshot as well. So Playwright will also help us in comparing the screenshot. If there are any pixel difference, Playwright will be able to identify those kind of things. We'll see like how do we handle scrolls. Also, this is an advantage in Playwright that Playwright will automatically scroll up and scroll down inside the page. Okay, and later we'll go for a page object model over here to understand the complete framework from scratch and start implementation, where we'll be going for getting the test data management inside the JSON file and inside a constant class. We'll see like how do we parameterize the test case. We'll run in a test. How do we retries whenever a test case failed, then we'll see like how can we automatically retries the test case, serial execution, parallel execution, and then we'll complete the course with completion of page object model framework. That will be completion of the page object model framework. In the day 33 and 34, we'll be checking up how do we generate the LDO report for Playwright, understanding GitHub completely from scratch, and setting up CI/CD pipeline using Jenkins. Whatever the framework that we'll be developing, we'll set that particular framework inside the Jenkins to see how does it work. We'll create a job so that it will automatically start running our test automation as well. With that, we'll be completing the course, which will be somewhere around 35 or 37 hours of session, maximum 40 hours. In case if it is getting delayed, then maximum 40 hours of session. Optional things that I will be also providing over here is like BDD Cucumber framework. You will also get the complete recorded session along with the course, along with this course itself, the complete recorded session of BDD Cucumber framework using JavaScript as well as TypeScript. Okay, so that will be the complete course content. In the question in the chat, I saw one questions was why TypeScript for this course? Why not JavaScript? Yes, that's a good question. It again depends on how are we trying basically programs or technology that we are trying to get it over here. So TypeScript is more safe when we compare to JavaScript. JavaScript is dynamic in nature. TypeScript is static in nature. That means whenever, let's say, you have done some kind of mistake in your coding, JavaScript will only be able to identify when you try to run your code, whereas TypeScript will give you the that you have done some kind of mistake at the time of writing the code itself. That means that is a type safe. That is why it is known as TypeScript. And that's where most of the organizations are going towards TypeScript, but not towards JavaScript. That is why we have chosen over here the TypeScript. Okay, so I'll again come back to you people. The last things that we have in terms of our agenda is the question and answer. Why Playwright and difference between Cypress? Why Playwright we have anyways covered. Difference between Playwright and Cypress and Playwright versus Selenium we'll cover up in our next session. And next is the Q&A. So over to you people. You can start asking questions or doubts, whatever the questions that you have. Starting with, I believe, Sai Kumar, he has raised a question. He's raised a hand earlier to ask the questions. So feel free to start any questions that you have. Sai Kumar, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Yes. Yeah. Hi, hello everyone. Hi, Pravi. Actually, my background is totally related to performance testing. Actually, that currently I'm working. I'm working. And currently I have my profile has enrolled for the supply chain related domain project. So in which they are working under this same concept. They are working on automation side. TypeScript are implementing. So along with I need to work as a performance tester. I need to be I mean, start working on the performance testing. Along working with them, I need to parallelly start out performance testing for this environment. I mean, what they are automating in the TypeScript environment. TypeScript they are using for automation side. So before, I just want to understand the end-to-end activity we're performing on the TypeScript framework. So each is helpful. I mean, maybe chance to. I'm expecting some helping activity from the TypeScript, which is help to do automation, do the performance testing activities. So that's why I joined this session.
Okay, so if I understand your question correctly, so you are saying that you're currently working on performance testing and you wanted to leverage the TypeScript for performance testing.
Yes, TypeScript is currently the project. They're working on the TypeScript framework.
Understood.
Implementing
Understood.
automations.
So, right, understood. So, anyways, like the TypeScript will be covering over here, but this course have been designed not for the performance testing, but for web automation testing, completely for the web automation testing.
Mhm.
Okay, Saikmar, I'll basically, you can find my number inside the group, whichever group you are in, with the name as Praveen, and let's talk over a call, so that I'll understand your perspective for the course.
Okay.
Okay. You will find my name inside whichever group you are in, with the name as Praveen, and there we'll see you.
Okay.
Okay. Next question. Anyone can start
Can
with.
I go ahead,
Yes.
sir?
Yes, please.
Good morning. I'm Shiba. I'm in US. So I was in a project due to layoff. We got laid off. So we did some playwright there, but our company just uses with BBD and with page object model. So is it possible to do like both page object model and with the BBDs or like with feature files, then like integrate with? I have done some projects on that. Is it possible
Right.
to do for?
Right. Yes, that is possible in terms of the playwright using page object model as well as BDD. So as I was trying to make you understand, when you work with BDD, automatically you will be using page object model as well. That is where
Okay.
I was saying, like, most of the organization are not going towards BDD because anyways they internally they are using page object model. And on top of that, they are going for step definition as well as feature files. So that gives more complex in terms of maintaining the framework, right? So
So for
ultimately,
this
when you
project, are we doing like that, like with feature file and page object?
right, so as I said, page object model anyways will be going in a live session. For
Okay.
BDD, you will get the complete recorded sessions, and if you have any kind of doubt, you will get the support for BDD as well.
So we will not do one end to end with all BBD or page object model. One.
We'll be having that as well.
Okay. And for CIDC pipeline, is it possible to show with ADO or with just the Jenkins?
Right. So Jenkins used to be basically the generic for every members that enroll over here, because most of the people will not, working on probably Azure, or not be working on GCP, not be working on some other, which is like AWS, right?
Okay.
But as I said again, whatever the doubt that you will be having, whatever the clarification that you required after the course as well, for setting up any kind of CI/CD pipeline, you can reach back to me. I'll be able to help you out.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Great.
And
Next, please. Yes, please.
so resume and interview questions we can get after the course is done, or we can get like if you're attending interview in between the course. Is it possible to provide that?
You'll be getting in the first week itself.
Okay, thank you. And this course continues from tomorrow, continues, right? When the course will start?
Right. So we will be having like tomorrow we'll also be having the demo session to understand what is the
Okay.
benefit of Playwright, what are the different things that Playwright has given,
Okay.
and then we'll be going for the real sessions.
Is it for like next week or this week itself we are starting real session?
Most probably this week itself.
Okay.
If not in this week, then in the next week.
Okay, thank you.
Next question, please.
Sir, can you show that document? I actually joined late. I had a meeting.
We'll be sharing you the document. You can just provide your contact number and name. We'll be sharing you the document, complete document.
So the what? Okay.
Thank you. I'm Rashmi. So previously I was working with Java and Selenium.
recently.
I'm so sorry, but I think I'm not able to hear
Can
you
you?
properly.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, little
Uh,
bit okay.
yeah. I'm Rashmi. So earlier I was working with Java and Selenium. Recently, I changed my company like 20 days ago. Here, they will be using TypeScript with Playwright. That's the reason I opted for this course. And whenever I look into the framework, to be frank, I'm not at all understanding anything. Like, I'm feeling so difficult to understand and to pick any task. um, like after this course, can I expect that I can be able to work on the existing framework and modifying the framework and writing the test cases and mentor my juniors? Like, is it possible? Like, can I expect that?
Right. So after the course completion,
Mhm.
you will be in a position to develop framework from scratch. So when we talk about develop framework from scratch, that means you will get the complete understanding. Even if there are existing framework, you will be able to easily understand. You will be able to easily write the scripts, and you will also be able to mentor your junior, provided you also have to practice whatever we go through in our session. So I've mentioned this thing as well earlier. If you practice it out, I guarantee you that you'll become an advanced level of test automation engineer using Playwright.
Okay.
Okay,
uh,
so if you are unable to understand anything right now, after the course completion, you will be able to understand everything. You will be able to support, you will be able to write, you will be also able to develop your framework.
Okay, and the thing is, here in the single repo, they are maintaining backend and the UI automation and API automation as well as mobile automation. And in the for the APIs, they are using Axios, like TypeScript with Axios, and for mobile, they are using Appium. And like, can we do it like instead of opting for those? Can we do those with Playwright itself, right?
Yes, yes, we can. We
Okay.
can do those with the Playwright itself. And that is what one advantage I said earlier, that nowadays even the development team are writing the unit tests using Playwright. And that is why you will see a mono repo. When we select mono repository, that means the front end part that the development team will write and the test automation, they'll combine it in one single repository itself.
Okay.
See, I'll give you the better example. In my current organization, wherever I'm currently working,
Mm.
have migrated 11,000 test case from Selenium to Playwright.
Oh,
And it is not easy to migrate like 11,000 test case, but we have still gone for that due to the advantage that Playwright has given us.
okay, got it. Yeah. And do we
Okay,
get any test and exams like after some?
you will get the assignment as well. You will have
Sure.
to complete the assignment as well.
Mm. Thank you.
Great. Okay, thanks. Next question, please.
Hi Praveen, this is
Yes,
Vidyadhar again.
yes, Vijay.
Yeah. So, like, I just want to brief my profile. I am little bit confused. Okay, so I have around 1.5 years of experience. Okay, so I've
Mhm.
worked on Selenium. I've worked on Cypress. 3 4 months I've worked on a Cypress, and now I have just made my switch. So here they are using a Playwright along with the TypeScript, and the whatever content you have shared, that is quite aligned with what I want. But I'm little bit confused, like, when I'm searching, when will I go for searching for the job? So which uh, tool should I show in my resume? So how
Right,
how
right,
will be the weightage, like, how can I
right.
explain that thing as well? Yeah.
So that depends on whatever the job that you are trying to apply for. Let's say
Okay.
nowadays, if you see the job, there are 60% of the job market, which a job for the test automation requires a playwright to be having a knowledge, or you have worked on for playwright. Okay, so you
Hmm.
basically have to prepare the resume in that way. depending on the job description that they are looking out for. If they
No,
have
but mostly
highlighted,
like we can see in the job description they're asking Selenium, and then when we get into that company, then they will say that you have to work on a Playwright. So
that
how
is what I'm
can
saying.
yeah.
That is what I'm saying. That is
Mm-hmm.
what I'm trying to say over here. If you see the market, they'll mention the Selenium, but they'll
Mm-hmm.
also mention like added advantage for Playwright,
Okay.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
what ultimately nowadays the organization, I'm so sorry, nowadays organization are going towards is
Mm-hmm.
they are trying to migrate their Selenium framework to the
Yeah.
Playwright framework, right? They
Yes.
are
Mm-hmm.
trying to migrate from Cypress to Playwright, right? And that is where they will start hiring the people on the Playwright in the next 3 to 6 months of time. So when you see the job market in the next 3 to 6 months of time, you will get like
Mm-hmm.
70% or at least close to 65 to 70% of the job, which will mention Playwright specific things. They'll also mention like Selenium, but they'll highlight the Playwright things over there. Okay. And when they
Okay.
start highlighting the Playwright, you have to make your resume by highlighting your Playwright specific knowledge, Playwright specific experience towards that.
Okay.
Okay. So, well, and anyways, like, we'll provide you the sample resume. So by looking into that, you can understand whatever the
Mm-hmm.
technology that you have worked with or that you have knowledge of, you have to
Mm-hmm.
show all the tools and technology along with the Playwright that you have worked on. You have to emphasize, let's say if job description is for Playwright specific, but then you have to emphasize in your resume saying that you have much better experience in terms of Playwright.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and one more
So
question, I personally felt like, like uh, Playwright versus Cypress, if we can compare now, I felt like Cypress is much better than Playwright. What do you think? Because in terms of UI, in terms of debugging, it is very simple to understand Cypress as compared to Selenium and
so
Playwright. But why
so
people why everyone is switching on a Playwright then, if Cypress is
so
very good?
right. So did you see like anytime Playwright UI?
Yeah, I have seen.
Okay. So if you see this comparison, right? So you can see this comparison, Cypress versus Playwright. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it says that when you when you are going for a simple UI automation, Cypress is the best choice because Cypress is again easy to use. Playwright is similar to use as well. However you go for a Cypress, however you use Cypress, Playwright will work in the same way. Cross-browser testing, Cypress have limited support.
Mm-hmm.
Playwright
Yeah,
supports multiple
multiple
things,
browsers. Yeah.
and not only that, you do not need any browser installed in your system. If you
Mm-hmm.
have worked with Playwright, you might be knowing that you do not need any browser installed in your system to work with Playwright. Though you do not have any browser, Playwright will run on that specific browser as well. We'll show you in our next session. Multi-tab or multi-domain testing. If you have worked with Cypress, you might be knowing Cypress does not support multiple window handlings. And if it
Mm-hmm.
is again a cross-domain, Cypress does not support automatically. We have to take the help of or some workaround we have to do, which will be able to do. Playwright fully support that. Can measure performance as well. Cypress will not support. API testing, as I said earlier, Playwright have fully support for the API testing. Cypress is having limited support. File
Okay.
upload and download, we require some kind of workaround, fully supported
Yeah.
by Playwright,
Mm-hmm.
right? There are a lot of things.
Okay.
Apart from this, there are a lot of things which make Playwright, edge over the Cypress, and that is why people are going towards Cypress. Also, when you try to use advanced level of Cypress, which is test recording, dashboard, and all, you have to
Mm-hmm.
pay for that.
Yeah.
Playwright
That
is
I know.
fully open source. You do
Yeah.
not have to pay anything, which is completely open source in the market, and that is why people and organization are moving towards that instead of Cypress.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Great. Okay, any other question from anyone else?
So I have a question. Is Playwright with the TypeScript is good, but some places like they were asking me to do with the C# with the Playwright, but I felt more difficult with that one. Like which language is good with go with Playwright or other languages with the TypeScript or C# or
Right.
Java? So
So mostly, see, Playwright have been developed using JavaScript.
okay,
Playwright tools have been developed using JavaScript, combination of JavaScript and TypeScript. Okay, so that's where most of the organization prefers JavaScript and TypeScript, either JavaScript or TypeScript. There will be very less job for Playwright using Java, Playwright using Python, Playwright using C#. But Playwright also supports all the other languages that we have, and that's Selenium supports.
okay. Yeah, I felt like TypeScript has more like inbuilt so many like reporting they support and all like
Right.
Cypress you have C# you have to struggle so much. And for this one, like I am looking more like mid-level, just like what you do at work. Will you be like teaching us in that way, right? Like not the basics, also like but the level we can like industry level experience we'll get here.
Definitely. You will
Okay.
get all the things, whatever will be helpful for us in terms of cracking the interviews and working smoothly inside the organization.
Okay. Like you will do like reading the Excel also, right? Reading Excel files.
Yes. So when you work with
Data-driven
JavaScript and
testing like.
TypeScript, data-driven testing anyways will be
Yeah.
doing. But when you work with
Okay.
JavaScript and TypeScript, will not be using Excel. There you will be using JSON. But
Okay.
for the Excel as well, I'll provide you the code. The complete code will be provided for the Excel as well. Excel
Okay. Okay.
handling as
Oh,
well.
we don't use Excel then. Okay, we'll use the JSON
Mostly
file.
we'll be not using Excel when we work with JavaScript and TypeScript.
Okay.
Usually we use JSON, or we'll create a class, and inside that we'll be providing all the data as a concept.
Okay. So you were industry working, right? So I'm expecting something like that if you teach. You're like more advanced, they'll be asking once you go. Even the job level is like beginner, they last 6 months or 1 year, but when you go, they just give very big application to start work on.
Right. That is what I said in the initial
Okay.
stage of our session today, that I've worked close to 3.5 years on the Playwright. So I know like what we have to work inside the organization. We'll be teaching in that way itself.
And you'll use like some demo sites, right? Like some demo sites.
There'll be
You,
many. There'll be
oh,
many.
many. Okay, okay. Thank you. Then we can switch around and switch. Okay. Thank you very
Right.
much.
Great. Okay. So I think I've already taken 18 minutes of time. 18 minutes
Praveen,
past our
just
schedule.
one little question. One little question.
Mhm. Yes.
See, like I am like not only me, but might be other people. Like we are scared of the coding part. So like hope like we can cover all the oops concepts and coding part and DSA part in this session.
Yes.
Like
Even the
most ask coding questions and all. See these things we can cover. That would be also helpful.
right.
Yeah.
So this drive that you see, people will be given access to this, and you will
Okay.
find all the questions related to whatever you have just said. So theoretical part of the JavaScript and TypeScript and programmatical part of the JavaScript and TypeScript I have already compiled over here, and you will have to
Okay.
write all these programs whenever you have time. That means you
Okay.
have to write this and come back to me if you are not able to write anything. So we'll discuss in detail inside the course. So all these documents that you see over here as a part of Drive, you will be given the complete documents for TypeScript as well as for Playwright over here.
Right.
So,
Okay. Yeah.
okay, so all these documents, that is where I was saying like share your contact number and name so that we
Yeah.
can reach back to you with.
Yes. I've already
Sir,
shared.
sir,
Great.
actually, I
Yes.
wanted to ask that you told that you would be giving questions on JavaScript and TypeScript, but then in this entire, sessions, you would be only covering TypeScript only. So then, how would we be able to answer the questions which is related to JavaScript?
Right. So once you learn this, you will understand what is difference between JavaScript and TypeScript. There is only 5% difference between JavaScript and TypeScript. If you learn JavaScript, that means you know already like 90% of the TypeScript. If you learn TypeScript, that means you know 100% of the JavaScript as well. So every topics, every things that will be covering up in terms of the TypeScript, that will ultimately cover the JavaScript as well. Okay. Once we start with the TypeScript session, we'll see like what is the difference between JavaScript and TypeScript. There are only 5% difference between JavaScript and TypeScript, which is type. What is meant by type is, let me show you if I have anything over here. So see this particular things that you see over here, which is JavaScript, right? So how did we declare a variable var I equals to 10? Let's try to understand. Let's try to just see that. How did we write this? Okay, and if you hover over on I, it says that it is a number data type, right? Do not worry, like what is number data type, but it says that it is a data type of number. When you work with TypeScript, you just have to say that this is a number data type. That's it. That is what the difference that we have in terms of JavaScript and TypeScript. Apart from that, there are a few other concepts that it has given in terms of TypeScript that we'll go through in our session. So when I say like you'll be learning TypeScript, that means you'll also be learning JavaScript over there as well.
Okay. So first we will start with TypeScript, in between we will cover the concepts of JavaScript, and then we will learn Playwright, right? This is what
Correct. So in terms of TypeScript, when you go for learning TypeScript, whatever the code that we'll be writing for the TypeScript will also be a JavaScript code as well.
Okay.
Internally it will convert, right? Like, so we have like collections also here, like in TypeScript we'll be covering like list or anything for looping. Is it necessary for us to learn those?
Which one you said?
In TypeScript, like collections, so like list, like we have, right? Like list,
Right.
array list, those.
Right. So those things will see, that is what we have a difference between Java and TypeScript, Java and JavaScript and TypeScript over here. There are many things in Java, but there are limited things in terms of JavaScript and TypeScript. All those collections will be very basic things in JavaScript and TypeScript. When we work with arrays, we'll see like how do we handle the list part. When we work with objects, we'll see like how do we handle hash map kind of things in Java.
Okay. So we will not have in TypeScript, like if there is like number of things, how we will loops and all, like we don't use those collections here.
Those things definitely. Those are basic things.
Okay. You will cover them in the programming session, like.
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, Praveen.
Yes.
Can we expect like previously we were using like robot framework and Python. Now they're completely like moving to Playwright and TypeScripting. Can we expect like wrapping up fastly to understand, and we'll work on those?
Yes.
After completion of this course.
Yes, definitely. So you just have to practice and you'll learn it faster. You'll definitely learn it faster if you practice as much as possible.
Okay. Because it is completely new for me actually.
That's fine. Though it is completely new, I understand. But as you start practicing the thing, you'll get more and more understanding over there.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. We'll teach in a basic manners. Like how do we teach to someone who does not even know any kind of things? So ultimately, you'll get everything over there.
Yeah, understood. Thank you.
Okay, great. Any other question from anyone else over here?